It's December 10th, and opening up our door on our Santa Advent calendar, it's a very Merry Gothmas, everyone. Before we get into the heart of the matter, let's pause for a quick note. While the person most people typically think of as the voice of Jack Skellington is Danny Elfman, he is in fact only the singing voice of Jack Skellington. The dialogue for Jack Skellington is actually performed by Chris Sarandon, which means that this Advent calendar Santa is a twofer. It also means you're pretty much only going to hear Sarandon's voice in this video because YouTube's copyright watching bots are very picky about music. So let's talk Santas.
Consider this a vacation, Sandy. A reward. It's your turn to take it easy.
But there must be some mistake.
See that he's comfortable. Just a second, fellas. Of course. That's what I'm missing.
Daniel Robert Elfman, yes, Elfman was his birth name, was born in 1953 in Los Angeles, California. The future Emmy-winning and Oscar-nominated composer was actually rejected by his elementary school orchestra for having, quote, no propensity for music. After completing high school, Danny followed his brother Richard overseas to France, where the two of them became members of Le Grand Musique Circus, a touring avant-garde musical theater troupe. Following his stint with the circus, Danny toured around Africa for a while, collecting traditional instruments until an illness forced him to return to Los Angeles. Once there, his brother Richard hired him to be the musical director for his new avant-garde street theater troupe, the Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo. Richard later moved on from live theater into directing film, and Danny continued Oingo Boingo, stripping it down and turning it into a new wave music ensemble. After a series of hit singles, many of which actually wound up in the soundtracks to some very 1980s movies, Danny Elfman began scoring films with Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which was directed by Tim Burton, who would become a frequent collaborator of Elfman's. So it was only natural when Tim Burton finally got The Nightmare Before Christmas greenlit that he would turn to Elfman to create and sing original songs.
I had the most terrible vision.
That's splendid.
No, it was about your Christmas. There was smoke and fire.
That's not my Christmas. My Christmas is filled with laughter and joy and this. My Santa Claus outfit.
The speaking voice of Jack is Chris Sarandon, who was born in Beckley, West Virginia in 1942. After graduating with a degree in speech from West Virginia University, he continued on and received an MFA in acting from the Catholic University of America. Sarandon worked in regional theater and touring companies for a few years, and in 1973, a few years after relocating to New York, he landed his breakout television role as Dr. Tom Halverson in Guiding Light. Since that time, he has continued his live theater career, while also giving iconic performances such as Prince Humperdinck in The Princess Bride, and Jerry Dandridge in 1985's Fright Night. And of course, he's the speaking voice of the King of Halloween, Jack Skellington, as he seeks to spice things up this year by taking over Christmas.
My precious plans. My glorious dreams.
There goes Christmas.
No, Zero. Down, boy. My, what a brilliant nose you have. The better to light my way.
Two performers with very different backgrounds come together to create a seamless performance as a single character. That of the eager and well-intentioned would-be Santa Claus, Jack Skellington. Jack is such an interesting character in the canon of Santas because he absolutely has the right attitude for Santa Claus. All he wants is to create joy and revel in the spirit of the season. He's just miles away in terms of execution. He wants to experience the happiness of the holiday season so much for himself that he just dives right in without understanding what he's doing. It could actually be read as a classic warning against what today we would actually call cultural appropriation. The celebration that Jack is participating in is not a celebration of his culture. And even though all Jack really wants is to share in the celebration, he does so without taking the time to understand the culture that birthed it. Instead, his eagerness leads him to grab onto all of the visible trappings and try to throw them together into a close approximation of the thing. When everything falls apart, Jack is forced to confront the fact that it is perfectly all right for him to love another person's celebration, but being a part of it himself will take a lot more than just costumes and decorations. Oh man, that is 2 Santas for the price of 1, folks. Chris Sarandon and Danny Elfman, their voices mesh beautifully into a single character. Can you think of other instances where a single character has had more than one voice behind it? And if so, what did you think of those moments? The Nightmare Before Christmas is absolutely one of my favorite Christmas movies, and I always love it as well because it kind of doubles as a Halloween movie, so you can watch it a lot during this time of year. Anyway, guys, drop down into the comments. Let me know what you think about these performances. And while you're there, the comments are right next to the like and subscribe button. If you haven't clicked those yet, you can go ahead and click those. If you didn't like this video, the dislike button works as well. You can hit that. There's also a share button if you would like to tell other people about the Santa Advent Calendar. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Your support makes this channel possible. I am Glenn Williams, the film optimist. And until next time, take care of yourself, because I'm not there to take care of you.